What's up, y'all? It's Angela, and I am here to do my Pretty Little Liars condensed recap on tonight's episode, Through the Glass Darkly. This was the first episode in Season 5B, and I was really excited by it. I thought it set up a nice dark tone to take the rest of the season. So, first of all, it's like 2 degrees here. Not really, but it's freezing, so I'm like in my little comfy hoodie, and I'm pretty convinced I'm getting sick, so this video is going to be rather short and to the point, I hope. When I get talking about PLL, I kind of trail off in my own world, as you guys know. That, and I'm doing Bout of Books 12 readathon this week, so I wanted to keep reading and finish my book tonight, but I knew I had to make this video because I just love talking about PLL so freaking much. So let's get into everything that goes on, kind of. The short, abbreviated version. So the episode starts off 3 months after Mona has died, and the girls are at her funeral memorial, and then Allie decides to show up and pay her respects to Mrs. Vanderwall, and she gets bitch slapped. Everybody in town hears it. I was waiting for it to happen, and I was excited that it happened. I don't necessarily think Allie's I'm not on that bandwagon, but I was excited to see her just get taken down a peg or two, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, she just annoys the shit out of me sometimes, to be quite honest. Then Bethany's parents want Spencer's bail revoked because there has been a new piece of information that has been released, and it is actually an eyewitness statement from our most trustworthy neighborhood cougar mother, Mrs. De Laurentiis, who said that she saw Spencer talking to a blonde that night and assumed it was Bethany and that Spencer killed her. Why are we trusting Mrs. De Laurentiis? Seriously. Oh yeah, that's the best eyewitness we got. She is sleeping with everybody in that town. Like, if you took her and Peter and tallied up how many partners they've had and how many illegitimate children they had, I wouldn't be able to count it on both of my hands. Like, it wouldn't happen. But speaking of Mrs. De Laurentiis' illegitimate children, I want to talk about a theory at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that because I love this theory. I think it's amazing. Anyway, Hannah wants to ask Mrs. Grunwald where Allie put Mona's body because Mrs. Grunwald is psychic, and the girls need to prove that Allie killed Mona so they can tie Allie to Bethany as well and get Spencer off. It's all about getting Spencer off in this episode. Oh, so good. Anyway, then the strangest scene of the episode was when Ezra was so concerned about Mike. Like, when did that happen? I was confused. Ezra's bought the brew, is fixing it up, and he wants Mike's help, his best buddy that he never talks to, and in fact got punched by once. That doesn't make any sense. And then when Arya's in the brew later on, it's like, hashtag, should Arya trust Ezra? Hashtag, no. Hashtag Ezra is freaking creepy. I will stand by this till the end of the show. I'm not satisfied with he was writing a book. You need a lair to write a book. You need to lie to your girlfriend and you have 50 security cameras set up and watching the whole damn town to write a book. Come on, Ezra. Come on. And I'm not happy that that was just glossed over so quickly and just pushed under the rug like so many other issues in the show. No. No, not good. Mrs. Grunwald shows up at the church and says that Mona is feeling really betrayed and is a really dark place, and it is hard for Mrs. Grunwald to get a read on her because she is looking through the glass darkly and kind of, you know, she can't see exactly where Mona is, but she's having a really rough time. She's not in Rosewood, she's in dirt surrounded by bugs. And then she goes into the whole, both of them hated the other because both of them feared the other because both of them knew the other's secrets. So here is our opinion poll for this episode. Do we think Mona knew Allie wasn't when she died? Or do you think Mona died dead set on Allie being Because personally, I don't believe Allie is You guys know this if you've watched any of my other PLL videos. I don't think she's at all. I think it's too easy, and I will be really pissed if Allie is But do you guys think that Mona knew and it was too late to say anything? Or did Mona die thinking Allie was 100%? Because, things might have happened between the time, well, obviously she was murdered and she saw her killer, so assuming it wasn't Allie, she should know the truth. Okay. Allie went somewhere on the day Mona was killed on Thanksgiving, and she asked Jason to cover up for her, which he did, but Spencer goes to see Jason and says, hey, this isn't cool. Yes, she's your sister, but I'm your sister too, and basically you need to tell what's going on because I'm fixing to go to jail for a really long time, and I do not do well in prison, buddy. And he kind of has this look on his face like, okay, I'm thinking about it. Let's see where it plays out. Arya is sitting in a park. I totally forgot this part. She's sitting in the park looking at her rejection letter from Oberyn, and Allie shows up, and Arya's accusing her of being A, and Allie's like, stop saying that. And Arya pulls out the whistle, which was the greatest thing ever. I laughed so hard. That is like my second favorite moment of tonight. It was just hilarious. Both of my favorite moments happened with Arya though. The next one is when she goes to pick up Mike from the brew because he agrees to help Ezra and is calling him because it's all dark in there and stuff, and turns around and A has Mike's phone and then staples Arya to the wall and takes Mona's computer, which Caleb has been trying to work on decrypting. It was hilarious. I'm just gonna wrap her in tarp and staple her up to the wall. And A didn't hurt her. So is A protecting Arya like Toby is protecting Spencer? Like Paige is protecting Emily? Like Caleb is protecting Hannah? Like what's going on? Is A Ezra? Oh, that would be awesome. Okay. But A really did scare the shit out of me in that scene because I was so not expecting it, I mean, yeah, Arya went into a dark building and I was just like, okay, well, she's going to walk around the corner and Mike and Ezra are going to be bonding over beers or something. No, A popped out of nowhere and I was like, oh, sweet Lord. A is right there. So the girls break in, I think it's Spencer and Emily break into Mona's house because they want to plant Allie's hair to get the cops to take a closer look and hopefully get Spencer off of her murder charge. And while they're there, they see that Mona has set up these security cameras everywhere, except they don't look in the doll in her room, they just look downstairs, which pisses me off because we all know that there's a security camera in the doll's eye and you just need to look. You just need to look and then you'll figure out who killed Mona. Hashtag okay. Exclamation point. I don't know. Like, I'm just totally loopy tonight. Okay, anyway. And talk about, Hannah going to tell Mrs. Vanderwall that Mona had cameras and she could turn them over to the police. And I was like, what are you doing? You stupid girls. Like, police are not trustworthy. You should have taken the cameras for yourself, but I was proven wrong because Lieutenant Tanner is sitting with Jason and they're watching Mona's death video and I was starting to get a little misty about it. It was really sad. And they see long blonde hair. Hold the phone. Long blonde hair. What the hell is going on? When we're assuming that A killed Mona here, okay? When A was walking up the stairs, they had the long blonde hair on. When they went into Mona's bedroom, did it not look like shorter hair? And then when A pushed Mona down the stairs and they went into the living room, it looked like the long blonde wig was on again. Was it two people in the house? I think this is the case. I think there were two people, or it is really sloppy writing department, not writing, but really sloppy like design going on to have long hair going up the stairs, short hair in the room, long hair coming down the stairs. So at this point, I'm thinking it's two people. I really do. I think it was two people, unless they just did this to get in my head, and then I'm going to be really pissed, and it was like an oversight. That is going to really, really, really make me mad if it's like an oversight of why, of the person and their hair length. Because that's just not something you need to mess up on. No. So either I was drunk and the hair wasn't two different lengths like everybody else on the interwebs seems to think, including myself. They messed up, or there were two people. We're going to go with that one. Shh. Okay. Jason tells Lieutenant Tanner that it could be Allie because she wasn't there that night. And Lieutenant Tanner is like, are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. So Allie is at home and she is packing, and she asks Jason if he could at least give her a head start. She runs outside and runs smack into the girls, who hold her still until Lieutenant Tanner gets there to take her off to jail, charging her with the murder of Mona Vanderwall. Where was Detective Yummy in this episode? Like, still recuperating from the ice ball party there? Champ? And she goes, if you do this, I'm not going to be able to protect you, and you will all be next when I'm gone, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, don't say I didn't warn you, to the girls. So we go to Mike, who is really pissed off about people saying how great Mona was when nobody knew Mona, and he's really sad. And during the earlier bit of this episode, he didn't really want to believe she was dead because, well, he believed she was dead, but he didn't want to let her go because of lack of body. But when Arya and him are talking at the end of the episode, and she walks out of the room and he sobs so hard, I think it was signified that he, you know, was finally letting Mona go. And it was really sad. So sad. And then Spencer's charges gets dropped because the police think that Allie was the one who had a hand in Bethany Young. So all the girls are hanging out outside and fireworks go off, and then there's the giant A in the sky, and they're like, that can't be because Allie's in jail. And Spencer even says, I refuse to accept this. Really? Good job, Spence. And the fireworks start coming down at the girls, and they all rush back to the porch. And then we go to the end scene, which is Allie in jail, and she is looking pretty scared, if you ask me. But we hear click, click of high heels on the ground. Never really says. She just looks freaked out. So another scene in favor of all you Allie is A people, because we always get an ending A scene, but this time we got an ending Allie scene. What is going on? By the way, I was right about her being thrown in jail. I mean, I saw her in the prison jump suit with the orange, and I was like, yeah, Allie's in jail, no makeup. Okay, so really quickly before I end this kind of condensed version of this recap, I'm sorry, this recap is not up to my usual par, guys. Just been really busy and kind of not feeling very well at the moment. But I read a theory today that I am just obsessing about at the moment. I don't remember who, it was somebody on YouTube, and they said, what if Cece and Bethany are twins? That would be the twin theory. I think Cece was 17. I think they were the same age. Cece might have been a bit older though, but I don't remember Cece's exact age. Unless she's like 2 years older than Allie, then that would fit. But Mrs. D could be their mother and, you know, gave them away for adoption or something when they were younger. This could explain the two dresses in the piano, the two yellow dresses. Maybe she didn't want Allie to find one at all, you know? Maybe they were both for her other children, and she didn't want Daddy to find out about the affair and the two children that she had, so she had to hide them. And Allie just kind of stumbled across it, but I really don't know. I think that would be pretty cool if Bethany and Cece were twins. And, like, Bethany, I'm not sure. I want to say Bethany's dead, but I don't believe it. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think about this episode? Do you like the dark turn that it's taking for the rest of the season? I personally love it. I really hate that clock, though. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Let me know what you think down below. I love talking about Pretty Little Liars, but I'm not really sure about the Bethany Cece twin theory. I just read it today, so I'm going to need to process it a little more, but I really liked that. And that could explain the two people in Mona's house, but it also would not really go to explaining why she felt so betrayed. Do you know what I mean? So that is it, or I will continue to keep rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Click like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment. Comment. I can't wait to hear your thoughts about anything goes. You know, yeah. I'm like really tired. I need to get off here right now. So until next time, bye guys.